All right, for today's video, we're just going to finish off our look here at the Transformers Legacy United Star Raider Thundertron set. Now, last video, we did take a look at the Voyager class Thundertron from the Star Raider set himself, and for today's video, we're just going to be taking a look at the other two figures that he comes with to kind of pad that out and make it actually like a leader class price, which it actually, does amount to, since Voyagers are typically 35 nowadays, and Deluxes are typically 25 nowadays, and leaders are 60. So, it does actually add up, and then he comes with the extra figure as well, which I didn't necessarily need, but, it is nice to have as well, since it's just a bonus, since these two were figures that I actually did really want. But, yeah, we'll just take Thundertron off to the side for now. We'll bring him back later. But, yeah, we're going to start off just by taking a look at Nightstrike, which is, it's another use of the Siege Rat-Bat mold, specifically the resculpted one of like Scar from the the Double Dealer. It didn't come with Double Dealer, but it was for Double Dealer. It was like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive set with like 4 of these guys. They might have used it again since then, but he does have that head sculpt. And yeah, it's a neat use of this mold because they've actually, since the Star Raider subline is all themed about like pirate Transformers, they've turned him into a little pirate flag here, which is pretty cool to see. And yeah, no, it's a neat little figure here. Again, didn't necessarily need it. This is a new version of a character from RAD 2015 who was like, a regular robot mode and turned into a bat. So instead of that, they just give him the bat mode, and now he turns into a little pirate flag, which, as a little extra accessory is kind of neat, because I believe that was one character from the RAD toy line, or the RAD show, that didn't actually get a figure in the toy line. So this is actually the first, official transforming figure of that character, which is neat to see. But yeah, looks kind of cool there. And then of course the main figure here, which is Calcitron. Well, main figure aside from Thundertron. And yeah, this is another use of the Magnius mold from Legacy United. And I think this is probably my favorite use of it, just because of the head sculpt alone. Like, I like the realistic, coloring and texturing of Magnius. I like their, ridiculous, gold and silver scheme of Nucleus. And this one, I just really like the robot mode head sculpt. But yeah, turns into the same kind of Rocky truck here. Weirdly, he does have a few different shades of blue plastic on him. I like this blue. This blue, it honestly, it looks like what happens to this color blue after 10 years. It looks like it's pre-sun faded, which is, maybe it'll match in 10 years if the rest of it will look like that. But I sort of thought that maybe this was a really quick yellowing, but no, actually that's what the images of him look like online and on the box as well. So I think it actually is supposed to be that color, but it's yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but otherwise he looks pretty cool here. He does of course come with the same weapon as Magnius, which you just tab onto the top of the vehicle mode here, and it looks, okay. But yeah, rolls pretty nicely in terms of comparisons in this mode. Here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe, just for a standard size comparison there. Here he is with Road Pig, another one of the Star Raider figures that was released alongside this set. And here he is with all of the other fossilizers, all of the other Rocklord Armorizer guys that I have so far, not fossilizers. And yeah, they all look pretty cool together. I believe there's only one more that's been released, and it's the the repaint / retool of Boulder Crash, which ordinarily I wouldn't have been planning to pick up, but I have I'll get to this later when I get the repaint of this guy, but I have a design that I've kind of come up with for a combiner for these guys, and it does require 2 of this mold. So actually I'm going to pick that up when it comes out, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about how that's turning out so far. It makes me, it makes me feel like I can't wait for a figure that is literally just a retool of the core class Armorizer, which is kind of silly. But yeah, I feel like they all look pretty cool together. And then also for comparisons here, I'll just show off Nightstrike with Scar, who came in that set that I talked about there, just so you can see pretty much the exact same mold there. But yeah, to get onto transformation for Nightstrike, he's pretty simple. You just take the little wings down here and fold them out, revealing that turquoise detailing, and fold out the wings. Take his little feet, fold them out, and then double hinge the head down, so it kind of has more of a bat hunch there. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. Put him off to the side while we get Calcitron figured out. The only bit of parts forming that you have to do is take off the weapon here. And then you want to take this entire back section and kind of untab it and fold it down like this, and then take this section here and fold it down like that. It'll just kind of double hinge down, and these will be the robot mode legs there. And then you want to take these side panels and just rotate them out to the side, and then just take the fists, fold them down, and rotate them forward to create the arms there. And then you want to flip open the robot mode head. There you can see the new head sculpt there, looks very cool. And take the wheels of the vehicle mode and to just fold them in like this, and then take this whole section and it will double hinge down, and then the panels that the arms are attached to will tab into the side there, and then you take the whole thing and kind of click it down into place. And there we have Calcitron and Nightstrike in their robot modes. And yeah, I love the head sculpt for Calcitron. It is kind of a shame how hollow it is on the back, but you know, if that's how they had to do it to make it like this big ridiculous head sculpt like it is, I feel like that's worth it. I don't know, something about that design I just really love. I feel like it's my favorite of the head sculpts for this mold. And yeah, obviously you can give him his axe weapon here, and unfortunately he does have the same problem that Magnus did, which just kind of drives me nuts, is that there's nowhere at all to store this, which sucks, because like there literally could have just been like a peg hole somewhere, and you could have at least put it onto his shoulder, which I guess you kind of can because there's sort of the space in there for it, but it's not a very tight connection there. Or just put a peg hole on the back so you could keep it on his back. I don't know. It kind of drives me nuts, but you know, I guess with these guys, I'm just going to have them holding their weapons because I do need these parts for the combined mode that I came up with. So got to have it with him. But yeah, other than that, no real complaints about the figure. It's just that I really wish that this stored. In terms of articulation, the head is on a swivel here, and then the panel that it's on gets a little bit of up and down movement, which is nice. The shoulders, you know, for the armorizer gimmick, they just peg in there, so you can rotate them around like that, and then fold them out to the side. He's got a bicep swivel, about 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrists are on ball joints, which can rotate around and then rotate in a bit. It's got a just a standard waist cut. Hips can go forward about that far, back about that far, out to the side. It's got a thigh swivel, very deep knee bend for how it folds up for transformation. And then the feet also have really good articulation because they do have the regular ankle tilt, but then they can also tilt forward and back just because of how they fold up for transformation, which is really nice to see because it helps him just get like a solid, you know, stance on the ground no matter how you have his legs, which is always really good to see. I love the like omnidirectional ankle joints that I feel like they should put on more figures, but yeah, you know. But yeah, no, really, honestly, the main draw for me for this figure just is the head sculpt. It could kind of be in whatever color scheme. I mean, it's just it's you know, it's a good mold, all things considered, aside from the lack of weapon storage. And then in terms of articulation for Nightstrike, you know, not a lot. Like the head can kind of tilt up and down, the wings can kind of fold in and out, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much just all, you know, transformation joints, but you don't really need a whole lot from him there. But yeah, in terms of comparisons for these guys in this mode, first off, here they are with Kingdom Sideswipe, just so you can see what they look like with an average size deluxe there. Here they are with the Star Raiders Road Pig for another one of the one of the other Road Pig characters, one of the other Star Raider characters. And real quick, here is Nightstrike and Scar, since you can see that's the version of the head sculpt of this mold that they used here. And then we'll bring on the rest of the other I keep almost calling them fossilizers. These guys don't have like, they're armorizers, I guess, but they don't have like a really good solid name that actually, you know, makes you think of like the rock guys. We all just kind of call them Rock Lord characters, but they're not actually officially called that. But yeah, that's what the five of them look like together. And yeah, I think they look pretty cool so far. Again, I like all three of this mold. Like there's really no bad version of the mold. Like I think he's maybe my favorite, and then him, but like they all really are good. They've all got really good things to offer. And then I like Boulder Crash and Shard too. So like really all of the armorizers so far have been just real solid. But yeah, that's what he looks like with them. And then, of course, we'll bring back on Nightstrike here and show them off with Thundertron, since that's the full set here. And yeah, it's a pretty good set overall. Like I said, you're not actually getting a leader class here, but the Voyager plus the Deluxe pretty much does equal a leader class. And they're both figures I actually wanted. And then Nightstrike is just a little bonus because he doesn't, you know, he actually didn't really need to be included to pad out this price. So I do appreciate that he, is here, because like a Voyager plus a Deluxe pretty much already equals a leader class. And, like regardless of whether or not you think any of those 3 size classes should cost what they currently do, at least it's consistent with the current pricing. But yeah, no, pretty good set overall. And I really like all 3 of these guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to them. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have the review for the set of Star Raider Thundertron, Infernac Universe Calcitron, and Star Raider Nightstrike.